Hey, awesome people. Are you struggling to make the most out of your time? Do you feel like you could be spending your days better and organize your life better? Time is the one thing that we have in equality, all of us. And so the most successful people in whatever they're doing, whether it's business or even in creative stuff like the arts, they're able to manage their time in some way or another. And today I'll discuss a bunch of big picture ideas and some specific techniques that you can use to manage your life and your time better. There's two key dimensions to organising yourself. One is a spatial dimension, so that's about what needs to be done and how. And then there's a time-based dimension, which is about the whens and kind of making like a workflow that smoothly works for you and doesn't overwhelm you at the same time. First, we'll begin with the spatial dimension. So we often begin with a vague idea of what we need to do, which would be like organising a certain project or, how can I manage my coursework better? These kinds of things. And you just need to take this vague idea and break it down into chunks as to how to do it. You just need to sit down and ask yourself questions, and you will be able to give yourself the answers. And once you've broken that down, that will really help you to process what needs to be done better. Otherwise, we're at risk of procrastination if things stay too vague in our head. David Allen explores this really well in a book called Getting Things Done. A software you can use for this is Todoist. It's very good for breaking things down. You can set deadlines for big picture tasks and then subtasks as well within them. And that can be very useful. So being able to break things down can help you to lower your procrastination. It can seem counterintuitive to be like, oh, should I sit down and keep planning and thinking again? But effectiveness is planning times execution, the actual doing of the plans. And so you can ironically save time by planning actually. So that's the spatial dimension. You can also use the Pomodoro technique if you're struggling to motivate yourself. So work 20 minutes on something, take like a 5-10 minute break and come back to the task again. The key thing is to get started. You might find that you just get into a flow once you begin. That's normally the hardest thing, just starting. And don't worry if you're not doing as much work as you could be doing in terms of how much time you're spending. Just by making a habit out of what you're doing and knowing you're not going to be perfect at the start will give you that kind of ability to sort of forgive yourself for not being perfect. We're not perfect, and to build up a good habit, and it will empower you and get better across time. So just have faith in the process too. Turning to the time-based dimension, okay, when and for how long should I do things? It's good to use a method called time blocking. So it's good to combine the spatial with a calendar system of some kind, so that you know when you're going to be doing the tasks. And they both kind of combine together. So when you're breaking down the tasks, you can ask yourself, okay, how long roughly is this going to take me? And again, if you kind of get that a little bit wrong, that's okay. That's also another habit and another skill you can build up. So don't worry if you don't get it perfectly right at the start. Perfectionism is the enemy of getting things done. Go on a calendar. After you've broken down what you need to do, you can even visualize it as like a film, So here's what's going to happen and roughly when. And here's the actions and the people involved in it. Sometimes our work has dependencies on other people. And so you can make a film reel in your head that can help you to visualize it. But anyway, once you've got those time estimates and you know roughly when you want to do things, book it into your calendar, into those like little Pomodoro blocks or into just like a bigger block, whatever. And then that way, you just need to make a habit out of looking at your calendar, seeing what's coming up, reviewing your to-do list, and just doing what needs to be done during the day as you've planned it. By combining clear tasks with well-organised timelines, you can hold yourself accountable for your work, know what's coming up, because waking up in the day and not knowing what you're going to be doing can be disorienting and cause procrastination. So being able to kind of book, even if it's just the night before, what you're going to be doing the next day, and then sleeping on it, it helps you to process and subconsciously motivate yourself to do what you'd like to do. So combine these two together, a way of breaking down these tasks and organising them in a way that works for you, and sticking it on the calendar is a great basis for raising your productivity. If you're not doing that already, you will avoid procrastination, you will develop smoother workflows. Across time, you will develop better working habits. So again, perfectionism is the enemy of getting things done. Just get started. That's sometimes the hardest thing. And by getting out of your own way and organising things in your head, it'll just become so much easier. It's a similar principle to Marie Kondo's book and ideas about how a cluttered space is a reflection and also causes a cluttered mind. It's the same thing, but just working in your mind and what you need to do. Otherwise, you're just kind of spinning on it. So declutter yourself, get it on the calendar, and you'll do yourself a massive favour. Any questions, other tips and ideas, let us know. It can help other people, and I'm definitely open to learning as well. So yeah, thank you for listening and have a great day.